In this episode, I have a Tascam DAP1 portable DAP. This one here, they complaint on this one is no tape movement, no play, no fast forward, no rewind, and it eats the tape. So probably the classic problem that these ones all have is a broken plastic piece. That's what I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's that before I even get into it. Let's see what the problem is. So I got a Tascam DAP1 complaint on this is that it eats tape. Okay, so mechanical problem. Let's rip it apart. Hopefully I won't waste all day on this one. I have some of my own equipment that I need to service, but my own stuff takes a back seat to equipment that's been shipped in. Should lift off just like that. Alright, I want to pull the deck out. I want to examine the deck. So there's 4 screws that hold in the deck, and then some clips and so forth. But to make it easier, I'll take the bottom off it as well, just because it's easier to get to what I need to get to. Yeah, okay. That's broken. Someone's tried gluing that at some point. I can see there's glue on there. Alright. Okay, to get the mechanism out, these plugs have to come out here, right? So, remove the 4 screws that hold down the transport. These ones are full of ticking time bombs too, by the way. They're not immune to capacitor failure, although I think these ones here, maybe the caps are a little better quality, because I haven't seen these ones leaking, but I'm sure they will go bad at some point. Just like happens on all these machines. And that's when maintaining these machines becomes more costly than they're worth. Gotta pull these 4 plugs out on the bottom here. Now this will lift out a little bit easier. Put the plugs out below. And there's one over here that's got to be undone. Actually, I think there's 2 or 3 of them. That one. And this one. There we go. They just pop up from below. Okay. Now let's see why this machine is eating tapes. The tooth belt is okay, I think. Well, it's okay, but make sure it's turning okay. Yeah, it's turning. We'll just see what's going on with this pendulum gear here. That's the big issue on these, is the pendulum gear brakes. Let's see if the pendulum gear is going to move or whether it's stuck. I think it's probably stuck, and that's why it's not working. Let's remove the cut washers and hold the basket on and lift the basket out of the way. The basket should lift out. Move the springs. Alright, now I can get to the part that I'm interested in, which is the drive assembly here. Because usually what happens is this little plastic piece cracks, which it has, I can see it already, and it causes the mechanism to fall apart from below. So if we take out these two screws here, I'll just put these ones over there, out of the way. Then I can lift this out. I can lift out this piece. And have everything else fall apart at the same time. Well, we'll try not to have that happen. Okay, now I can get to the pendulum here, which has got a problem. I got to remove one or more of these drive units to get to the bottom of the pendulum because there's a gear in place. So I'll remove this one first. Get that one out of there. No, that one's not quite as easy. Need something smaller to pick at that with, like a small screwdriver. There's one. And now this will lift off. It will lift off. Trust me, it will lift off. And the other one over here as well. I need to get this gear that's broken. You can see it. Alright, just going to remove this cut washer. There's a spring in here too I got to be careful with so I don't lose that. It's a spring that pushes it down. It will come off as soon as I remove that cut washer. I'll put that one over there and the little spring with it. Alright, this is the piece that I'm interested in. This is the piece that breaks. As I can push this up from below. I don't know if I can or not on this. Might be able to push this up from below actually. Is that the pin I'm looking for? Oh, yeah, I can push this up from below. I don't need to take it off. The pin is right through here. If I push that pin back in, now you'll see the pin is flush with the top here. So what happens is this piece cracks. You'll see that there's a crack on here. I've done this many times, okay, but there's a crack right there right on that plastic, and what's happened is that pin works its way down. And once the pin works its way down, it no longer works. But the pin is right here on the bottom. You can see it sticking through the board here. And all you gotta do is just push it back into place so that it's now flush with the top. And we need to secure it in place. And the best way to secure it is to put a little bit of glue in there to stop it from going anywhere. So let me get some super glue, and we'll glue that piece back in. And then hopefully that's all I have to do on this one, because it'd be nice to have a nice easy fix for a change, one that I can actually get in and get out of the shop and make some money on. I put a drop of glue also on this pad here. I got to replace this one or find one for it. I'm going to start by reassembling the clutch assembly here. Put my cut washer back on. Yeah, that holds that back in place. Now, when I turn this drive gear, the pendulum gear will move back and forth. You see, like it's supposed to. You gotta find something for this clutch. I thought a pad dropped off, but I've been looking for it and I don't see it. I don't see it in here unless it's sitting on top of that little circuit board. I'll have to take a look and see, because I'm sure I saw the felt pad for this one fall down. I'm pretty sure it was just hanging on there and it dropped down there, but I don't see it. So I gotta find it or make something up for it. All right, I made up a new piece of brake pad here using a piece of foam tape. The hub's back in place. Okay, that's one. And the other one over here on the other side, over here. All right, now, when this turns, this should turn the reels, which it does, you see. Okay, when I turn the capstan, you see, the reels now turn. That's how that's supposed to work. All right, now this should go back together and should be functional for a while, I would think. Hopefully for a long time. There, that's that one. And now these other bigger cut washers, which hopefully won't disappear. All right, that's on, and now I can put the springs back on to pull the cassette. There we go. All right, now I'm going to throw this back together, and fingers crossed it's going to work. It should work. goes back in like that, and then the 4 screws that hold down the chassis are in here somewhere. Oh, there they are there. Okay, I guess I can test it now. That part works. Let's see if it'll rewind the tape first of all. That part works. Let's plug some audio into it. Line out. Dropouts on the tape at the beginning there. Okay, so that's working. We'll just change the tape to one I can play. Music Bakery, I can play this one. We'll skip to the next track. Well, it seems to be working. I mean, probably working about as good as it's going to work, considering the fact that there's a lot of wear on and that part that's got the crack in it. Well, the part's still cracked. It's just glued back together. But, I mean, ideally you'd replace it, right? But good luck getting parts for something that's this old. So I think that this is probably working about as well as we can expect it to work, which it's working. I'll do a test recording on it momentarily here, but it just seemed to miss that cue a bit, but I got it that time, so I don't know why it missed that. I missed the cue a couple times there. I mean, the transport's obviously working because it's while it's playing. We'll test it for record in a minute. Let me just rewind the tape back to the beginning. As you can see, everything's working properly as it's supposed to. And it's not eating the tape, which is what the complaint was, is it was eating tape, so that part's working. Okay, I'm just going to make a quick recording here at the end of the tape here. And we'll make sure it's recording before putting it all back together and getting it ready to send back out. Okay, I've been recording about a minute now. I didn't start this at the beginning of the song, by the way. I just plugged it in and started recording, so we're going to miss the beginning of it, so that's no big deal. Okay, so we'll stop this, and I'll just go back to where I started my recording. I think that'll do it. Is that the one? There we go. That went too far. I guess I did not index. Should be somewhere in here where it starts. There we go. There's the recording. So it works. So I'm happy. Went from a machine that wasn't working, was eating tapes because the pendulum pin had fallen out, which is pretty common on these. What happens is the plastic shrinks and it cracks, and then it allows the pin to drop out. So we push the pin back in place, use some super glue to secure it, and that will keep this one running for a while. Hopefully it'll run for quite a while, but you never know, because when you get plastic parts that break, you know, you could have other plastic parts that, I guess, break going forward. But at this point in time, we have saved another one from the recycle bin. So I'm going to throw this back together, and we'll say thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. I don't think you guys need to see me putting the cover on, but it just sits on like that. And one thing we make sure is we get the power in the right position, otherwise it won't turn it on. But the top will just pop in place, just like that. Make sure that the power button works, and then throw the screws in it, and I'm all done. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.